That was the Most High. Now, we can't comprehend his ways. So don't try to figure it out. Just trust. You know, the Greek mindset always going to try to figure it out. Here's the difference between the Hebrew mindset and the Greek mindset, or Western perspective. The Hebrew mindset, if y'all sister did, they just start digging. Because he said did, they didn't do out of obedience. A Greek mindset, when he says to dig, he said, well, what am I going to dig at? How deep? What am I going to use? What am I digging for? And by the time we begin to dig, we so off course, because we got the Greek mindset. It's abstract, it's not concrete. That's why, you know, in the Greek mindset, you got 5 different words for love. Agape, philios, eros, all these words, and all of them are abstract. What's agape love? God kind of love. What's God kind of love? Unconditional love. Okay, explain it. But you can't really explain it. But when you get the Hebrew mindset, and he says love, it's ahab or ahava, which means to provide and to protect as a privilege and precious gift, one that puts himself in a place of danger for you. See, it means something, it says something, it's showing you something. So you can't have a Greek mindset when it comes to serving the Most High. You got to get past you. So Gideon was in the wine press threshing wheat. Melach Yehovah, or Yehovah himself, appeared before him and became a mighty man of valor, and said that Yah is with you. Now Gideon's response was a little different. He said, well, he's with us, then while we're going through this, he didn't say he's with y'all. He's with you. Then he showed him his power. And then, you know, people see the adversary lie through people, and they say, you know, he made you a free moral agent, and God overwrite your will. I beg to differ. God can get in your mindset, think your thought, make you think you're doing what you're doing when He's really doing it for you. Listen, it's always a thing behind your thought. Your will is only limited. How do I prove that? Because when Gideon asked Yah, how did he know he's giving him? He's not going to tell him. He said, listen, sneak up to the window and listen. So he goes to the window. Man, it's 2 men having a conversation. And one of them said, man, I just had a dream that a loaf of bread was thrown into the camp. And his friend said, oh, say, oh, give us over to the hands of Gideon. And he told his friend that the Most High is giving them over to Gideon. And they still want to fight. They're standing around with lamps and shofars. Throw down the lamp, blow the shofar, they start fighting each other. The Most High overrode their will. So your will is only limited.
Right.
Woo! And you think you got power, you don't have no power. You know what I heard a man say one time? He said, life's only a vapor, don't choke. You're like a bubble on the water, anyway, so you gotta get past you and understand who he is. He is the Most High, amen?
Amen.
And I want to be in his will. And I know that some of you in this room, I want to go forward, tired of certain things, but don't want to go, you can't go forward. Because you're afraid what people are going to say, how they're going to feel. But you can't do that when it comes to obeying him.
Amen.
You have people now that don't even go to congregations and submit to leadership. When the word clearly says, for self to assemble yourself with the congregation of the righteous, y'all always give leadership. You can't be your own leader. He calls apostles and prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers to teach you and equip you. If you're not a prophet, why are you trying to teach you? It's called, let me give it, I'm not trying to be theological Christian term, but it's called eisegete. When you don't know what you're talking about, and when you're not called, you add to the text, and then you cut up these ideas, and that's why you got so many thousands right now, denominations, divisions, because everybody, their money home is seeking attention, trying to get fame. So now the church is like a big talent show.
That's right.
Or a big concert.
Yeah.
And that's why when we were preaching, y'all want to clap for me, don't clap for me. For what? If you're going to clap, you praise the Most High to give you understanding. Don't clap for me, I'm not your God. I won't be like Herod. When he rebuked the people and said, he's not God. He didn't correct them, so an angel of the Lord smote him.
That's right.
Then he died with worms. So don't clap for me, because I'm not here to entertain you. No, because sometimes this can get offensive.
Yes.
Just like you've been, young men, being in a female space with no search, no double mint, and a breath thing. He think he's smooth, and she said, you breath thing, he get offended. It's a breath thing. I've been married 20 years, my wife tell my breath thing, I'll be offended. So I know if I don't know you, you tell me my breath thing. You be highly upset. Amen? Are y'all okay? And so it's a thing behind your thoughts. Your feelings will get you in trouble anyway. You can't live by how you feel. You got to put down those thoughts that will go against the will of God, that will affect the knowledge of God over your life. Yeshua goes to the Garden of Gethsemane. He takes 11 of his Talmudim, he takes 3 of them a little further, James, John, and Peter, right? He leaves them there, telling them to stay woke, and he goes a little further himself. But he tells them this, he said, listen, he said, y'all, tarry ye here and watch for me. He said, my soul is exceedingly sorrowful and very heavy. So his mindset got to get the best of it. His thoughts start trying to talk to him. So he goes to the Father, and it says, because his feelings was in the way, he said, oh my Father, if it's at all possible, let this cup pass from me. But then he says, nevertheless, not my will, but let your will be done. He prayed 3 times. And when he found surrender himself, the word says that then angels came to console him. They came to minister. He got past how he felt in order to accomplish the will of the Most High. You got to get past you. You got to do this thing when nobody else want to walk with you, when they want to call you crazy. When they say you're not real. You know how many times I've been called crazy, fake, not real? You got to get past you. See, we think the Most High is playing. Now, I don't know if y'all see movies. Now. This don't mean I'm not saying. Y'all never seen Friday. Craig is smoking. Everybody playing with you. Yeah. Smoking on one plane. Smoking up Big Worm's weed.
Big Worm.
Big Worm. Like Worm won't shoot you. You playing.
Yeah.
He said, name one person in the hood play like that. No, he ain't playing. Quit playing. Yeah. This is a lifestyle. It's not a religion. But people don't want to submit to authority leadership because they don't want to give their money, but you need to give your tithe and offering. You need to. It's not to make the preacher rich, but it is to take care of not just things in the ministry, but to help other people out. We have a food pantry. Our congregation is very small. It consists of me, my wife, and my children. And we got a lady that comes from Tennessee now, and another lady that down South Parkway. Hopefully some of y'all, if y'all want to come, you're welcome. You know, but we fed families. We have a food pantry. And so when someone calls us and then we have it, the money comes out of our own pocket. We buy them meat and eggs. And we give them food. Because we have a responsibility to serve. You want to be great, you serve other people. Today we was great because we served somebody else. And I'm so glad we didn't take pictures of us serving them. Because we don't need to be seen by people. Where's your heart at?
Gotcha.
Well, you got to get past you. Rebellious attitude, rebellious mindsets. The Talmudim still went to the synagogue. They still went to the temple. As a matter of fact, listen, let me tell you something. Yeshua always, I'm going to get to my message. Like I said, I always have a tangents. I can't hear if I'm getting old.
Just warming up.
But Yeshua, he always deal with each individual on their level of comprehension. So he understood where the Jews or the Judeans were at. So when Peter and James, or was it John, going to the temple one day, and they saw a man who was sitting at the gate called Beautiful. This man, legs had to be rubbery. Now, according to the Torah, if you got any kind of defect, you couldn't even go into the temple.
Amen. That's true.
So they couldn't give a sacrifice, then guess what? They were still in their sins in their own mind. So the man one day is at the gate called Beautiful, sitting there begging. He'd never been able to stand, I don't think. So he looks at Peter and John and he said, listen, can you look out for it, bro? You know, I'm just paraphrasing. Well, Hebrew. Peter says, listen, man, we don't have no money. But what we do have, we give to you on the authority. Anywhere you see in the Bible's name, it don't mean name. Like carry. But in the authority of the Messiah. Get him a walk. And when he raised the man to the main leg, somehow caught straight, he stood straight up. Now that man was able to go to the temple and atone for his sin. So his mind, his conscience was purified from dead works, Hebrews 9.
That's right.
So you see that? So he was able to go to the temple. Hello, listen.
Yeah.
You know Levi. Excuse me. Eli. You know Eli was an illegitimate high priest. He was of the right bloodline. Did y'all not know that?
That's right.
Read the scriptures. But y'all still allow him to remain in the place of the high priest.
That's right.
And his sons weren't doing it right.
That's right.
But he had a responsibility to teach them the scripture. Now, from God's perspective, he supposed to kill his sons. You know, his heart got in the way. He didn't kill them, so all of them died. When the man of God came and told me here, it is. And then, you know, Samuel told him the same thing. He died. He was too fat, so his chair broke his neck. And when his two sons died, one of the sons' wife gave birth to a baby they called him Ichabod. The glory of the Lord departed because of disobedience. But y'all always had leadership because it's important to have a leader in your life to teach you the words so you can learn how to fear. Y'all don't believe me? Okay, let's go to Ephesians 4, then we're going to go to our scriptures that we're going to teach from. It's important. I see so many people leave. Somebody got saved 5 months, came like congregation, got saved 5 months, and told me that the Most High said stay at home. Well, came out of the church, got saved. And I'm saying that Ephesians 4. And not saying that if you go to church on Sunday, you're not saved. But you may kind of be in darkness and lost. And it's not necessarily their fault. But we got to learn how to be lights. And if we can't be obedient, when they come out of darkness, how do we expect for them to be obedient?
That's right.
And they see you being rebellious. Where people follow leadership. I remember one time we was at a church back in 97. The Most High told me to tell the pastor's wife that the people follow the priest. They'll be like the priest. So if you live in disobedience, they'll live in disobedience. It's the leadership that the Most High will deal with before he deal with the people.
Correct. Say
So
that.
when you gonna teach, you receive a strictest judgment. So it's important you teach the truth and live your life with integrity. Not saying you're gonna be perfect, but you need to have a heart after the Most High.
That's right.
David had a heart. He wanted what the Most High wanted. So Ephesians 4, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's go to Ephesians because and I promise you I won't teach you wrong. But I won't. You can challenge me. I like to read. But anyway, 4 and 11. Verse 4 and 9. Now this phrase, he went up. What can it mean if not that he first went down to the lower parts, that is the earth? The one who went down is himself, the one who also went up, far above all of heaven, in order to fill all things. Furthermore, he gave some people as emissaries or apostles, some as prophets, some as proclaimers of the good news or evangelists, some as shepherds or pastors and teachers. Listen, Their task is to equip God's people for the work of service that builds the body of the Messiah until we all arrive at the unity implied by trusting and knowing the Son of God at full manhood at the standard of maturity set by the Messiah's perfection. I'm not finished. So when that's their responsibility. So when they're doing that, we will then no longer be infants tossed about by the waves and blown along by every wind of teaching, at the mercy of the people clever and devising ways to deceive. Instead, speaking the truth in love, we will in every respect grow up into Him who is the head, the Messiah, under His control, the whole body being fitted and held together by the support of every joint, with each part working to fulfill its function. This is how the body grows and builds itself up in love. We can go on y'all want to, but let's go like y'all want to? We can. Because it's important. It's important. How are we supposed to be the solution to the world's pollution when we're divided amongst one another?
That's it.
And then we come into the truth, so we say, and can't even get along. We leave each other alone for politics. I see more believers on Facebook talking about Kavanaugh, Donald Trump, Democrats and Republicans, Colin Kaepernick, and people stop being friends because they voted for two different people. Who cares?
Right.
Who cares? So we stop loving each other, and we make abortion bigger than a human life. And when, excuse me, let me fix that. We make abortion bigger than an individual getting shot by the police. So we get mad at the man for kneeling because the flag is important. When does a flag have preeminence over human life? Then we don't want to talk to each other no more. We can't be friends. We don't like white people. We don't like black people. We don't like the illegals. You illegal too. This country is not built upon the Messiah. There were slaves in this country. Beat to death, hung, and sold like cows. How was that godly? Come to a land where somebody already lived here and said you discovered it. You a fool. How is that godly? All white people didn't own slaves. That's stupid. You gotta have money. Everybody wasn't rich. Then some black folks own slaves.
That's a fact.
Yep, very true. Very true. Native Americans
Fact.
did
This-
too.
yeah.
Rich people own slaves.
So, you know, we gotta live right. Let's go to Revelations 2. We're gonna talk about the body of the Messiah. You know, and I lose people. Folks, leave me alone. I lose them. I had a dream one day I run down the road, people throwing bottles at me. I had a vision when I first got saved. I was in the church preaching. A man came in trying to shoot the folks in the congregation. He ran toward me. He dropped his gun. I got in, I shot him and killed him to protect them when they was talking about me. And I had to keep on walking and my feet were heavy, but I never did stop. When I got past the people, then I was free. So I understand my responsibility is to teach the word and kill the enemy, and folks will talk about me. But it don't even matter. Because I got a responsibility. Gideon's father was an idol maker, and Gideon started tearing down high places and idols.
Yeah. Amen.
Because y'all was with him.
Amen.
Anyway, y'all ready?
Yes, sir.
Revelations 2. We're going to try to deal with this thing, abiding in the Messiah. Anybody want to abide in the Messiah? Here it is. I'm going to show you how to do it tonight, man. We're going to go to, excuse me. Let's go to 2 Corinthians first. Get in place. 2 Corinthians 6:14 first. And I'm coming from the complete Jewish Bible. 2 Corinthians, after 1 Corinthians. That's after Romans. So you got Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians. Right? If you can't find it, you got a table of contents.
In the old KJV it is.
6:14, y'all ready? And I don't know what I'm trying to find it. I'm trying to find the Bible, and I got it typed right here. Pray for me. Y'all ready?
Yes.
So 2 Corinthians 6:14 through 7:1 says this: Do not yoke yourselves together in a team with unbelievers. For how can righteousness and lawlessness be partners? What fellowship does light have with darkness? What harmony can there be between the Messiah and Belial or Balaam? What does a believer have in common with an unbeliever? What agreement can there be between the temple of Yah and idols? For we are the temple of the living Elohim. As Yah said, I will house myself in them, and I will walk among them. I will be their Elohim, and they will be my people. Therefore Adonai says, go out from their midst, separate yourselves, and don't even touch what is unclean. Then I myself will receive you. Let's go to Revelation. So now we're talking about being abiding in the Messiah. In order to abide in the Messiah, you have to come out from the darkness. You got to leave the darkness. You got to come from unclean. You know, a lot of people walk around with zera'at, leprosy. Do you know how people got leprosy in the Torah? Zera'at is an affliction of the soul. The individual was wicked, doing wrong, kind of like a hypocrite, faking the fall. So he made a clone on the outside. For example, Numbers 12. Miriam and Moshe. The word says that Moses was a meek man over all the earth, right? So Miriam and Aaron was complaining that Moses married an Ethiopian. But they were saying that God could use all of us. But indeed, they was angry because he married an Ethiopian. So they was talking about it. The Most High heard him, called Moses, Miriam, and Aaron, and talked to him. He said, listen here, Miriam, Aaron, I'm just paraphrasing. Listen here, Miriam, Aaron. I come to prophets in visions and dreams. That's not how I deal with Moses.
That's right.
So I talk to him face to face.
Come on. Go ahead.
You should understand that. Let me tell him. Then the angel killed him, he'd leave. When he left, Miriam was leprous as snow. She didn't like Moses' wife because she was Ethiopian. So she had Zera'at. Aaron cried, oh Lord, Moses, help us, pray for her. Moses prays for her. The Most High said, listen here, if her daddy would have spit in her face, she'd have been ashamed. So leave outside the camp for 7 days. She was unclean. She was slandered, gossiping, talking about. So she was unclean. They had to go outside of the camp. Outside of the camp meaning they were out of the presence of the Most High. It was just like us going to hell. You're outside of the presence. You're outside of their protection. And they had, when people came around, they had to cry out, unclean, unclean. That's why Matthew 8, when the leper came to Yeshua, he fell out in worship first. He didn't ask a question, but he tells Yeshua, he said, if you're willing, you can make me clean. He wasn't asking him to clean him. He was actually telling him, I'm changed. So Yeshua says, I can. And he healed his skin because the man was changed. Then he had to go to the priest. So he healed a sin-sick soul. So he'd be among the lepers. That's amazing, man. So when you are clean, you can live with the Most High. And it's good to be in the camp.
Hallelujah.
That's right.
Because in the camp there is safety.
Yes.
There's protection. Y'all ever heard this song? The safest place in the whole wide world. Where's that, Ruth?
With you.
It's in the will of God.
It's in the will of
Amen. So anyway, Revelation 2 says this, to the angel at the Messianic community in Ephesus. Right. Here is the message from the one who holds the 7 stars in his right hand and walks among the 7 gold menorahs. I know what you have been doing, how hard you have worked, and how you have persevered, and how you can't stand wicked people. So you tested those who call themselves emissaries or apostles, but aren't, and you found them to be liars. You are persevering, and you have suffered for my sake without growing weary. But here it is. But I have this against you. You have lost the love you had at first. Some of y'all were about to say your first love. Right? Therefore, remember where you were before you fell. And turn from this sin. And do what you used to do before. Otherwise, I will come to you and remove your menorah from its place. If you don't turn from your sin, but you have this in your favor, you hate what the Nicolaitans do, and I hate it too. Those who have ears, let them hear or hearken or shema to what the Spirit is saying to the Messianic community. To him winning the victory, I will give the right to eat from the tree of life, which is in God's Gan Eden. So now, the church at Ephesus, y'all says, listen, you hate what is evil. You found people who said it was apostles. You found them to be liars. You stand for what's the truth of the word. But one thing you lost. One thing has happened. You have lost your first love. And what he was saying was, you stopped loving. They stopped loving. They knew the word, they knew the truth, but they didn't love people. To love individual is a command.
Right.
It's in the Torah, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, Shema, Yisrael, Elonai Eloheinu, Elonai Chad. Right? And you are to
Love.
Yahuwah your Elohim.
That's right.
With all your being, right? Then over in Leviticus it said you are to love your
Neighbor.
as yourself.
Yes, sir.
In the gospel of Yeshua, he said that one day a man comes to him and says, you know, what's the greatest command? Yeshua tell him that. The man talks out sarcastically. Well, who is my neighbor? He gives him a parable of a Levite, a priest, and a Samaritan. Samaritans at that time were considered enemies of Israel. They didn't get along. Israel considered them to be half-breeds. They were racist too, I reckon. So he says, this man walking. And listen, Yeshua was a Jew from Yehuda, from Judah, right? So he's talking to Jews, or excuse me, to Judah. Judeans. Judean is somebody that's in Jerusalem. Right? So he's talking to them. So the man walking obviously had to be a Jew. The Levite that was walking had to be his brother because he had to be from the tribe of Levi. So a Hebrew, talking about Hebrews, to about another Hebrew. Then you had a priest. So he's walking, he get beat up, get robbed, left for dead. Levite comes, singing, cross over the street, and kept on going. The priest comes. The priest supposed to know Torah. Priest is the leader, they teach the Torah. See the man laying down, cross the street, and keep on walking. Y'all seen the cartoons? Walking.
Help on down to them.
Then the Samaritan comes. Samaritan is not considered a Jew. A Samaritan is considered an enemy. He sees the man, stops, helps him, nurtures him, picks him up, takes him somewhere, pays for him, and tells the man whatever expenses he incurred, let me know what I cover and I pay, right? So who is his neighbor? Your neighbor is your enemy. Your neighbor is anybody, everybody not just your brother,
Right.
but it's anybody. The church of Ephesus, they stopped loving. They had the word. That sounds so familiar to me today, of people who has come into the truth. They know what the word say. They gonna honor Shabbat. They gonna honor the feast. They gonna teach Torah. They gonna call him Yeshua, Yahshua, Yahushua, Yahuwah, Yehovah, Yahweh, Yahweh. They gonna say all of these names. But they're not going to be able to talk. They can't deal with the Sunday Christian. I can't deal with the pork eating. So what? You love them enough to not judge them, but to live right in front of them. And you learn how to bear with them so that they can see your Father. But because we stop loving people, they call us crazy, they don't want to come around us, they forsake us, and we get so much in our feelings, we get offended. We get so mad at the preacher that every time somebody preach, we think they want money. I don't need your money. Now, I love you, want to bless me, I ain't going to say no. But that's not my objective. That's not everybody's objective. Some people need love.
Amen.
When you love somebody, it can bring healing.
Yes.
Yes.
Love covers a multitude
Of sin.
of sin.
Yes, sir. Say that.
You know how to look over their faults and love them for them being who they are, and they'll come out of where they are. Not being mean. Because guess what? You can't assume everybody knows. Because you know.
That's right.
Absolutely.
So they stopped loving people. Y'all says, you know what? You hate what the Nicolaitans hate? I hate it too. The Nicolaitans is said to be a group of people, means they love what they ate. So they ate unclean. But they said they was followers of the Most High.
Mm.
But it was actually a cult. You know, they found out that people were not real apostles. He ain't no real apostle. I don't see the work. But they couldn't love nobody. So I can imagine how harsh they probably was when they found out that these people were not what they said they were. They stopped loving. Let's go to number 2. Y'all ready? The angel of the Messianic community in Smyrna. Here's the message from the first and the last, who died and came alive again. I know you are suffering and how poor you are, though in fact you are rich. I know the insults of those calling themselves Jews, but aren't. On the contrary, they are a synagogue of the adversary. Don't be afraid of what you are about to suffer. Look, the adversary is going to have some of you thrown in prison in order to put you to the test. And you will face an ordeal for 10 days. Remain faithful, even to the point of death. And I will give you life as your crown. Those who have ears to hear, let them shema, hear what the Spirit is saying, hearken, obey to the Messianic communities. He who wins the victory will not be hurt at all by the second death. So now here it is, the church of Smyrna. Y'all says, you know, he don't have anything against them. But he's telling them they're going to suffer. Not to suffer because of disobedience. They'll suffer because they're doing what's right. And they're going to go through an ordeal for 10 days. Let me show you, especially about the prison thing. See, over here in America, you go to prison after you've sentenced. Well, in that time, when they went to prison, they was already sentenced, so that they was going to meet their death. Some of them may die. And in this walk, you're suffering. You got to go through it. You got to be strong, and you got to persevere, regardless of what you go through.
Yes.
And if you hang in there, even if it comes to losing your life, you will receive a crown of life.
Amen.
Or he'll give you life as your crown. See, But what we've done, if you want to abide in the Messiah, you have to endure the suffering. You got to be willing to stand and face the persecution. Blessed are you when men shall revile you and persecute you and say, all men are evil against you falsely for my sake, for they persecuted the prophets who were before you.
That's right.
Count it all as joy.
You count it all joy. So if you want to abide in the Messiah, you have to be strong. That ain't the truth. Well, okay, let's go to John 15. Because I've heard folks say you ain't got to suffer. You know, I had the wrong understanding when I got saved that I wasn't going to go through no more. I had folks that were so happy when I got saved for 2-3 days. They were happy. Then I came one time to my God that they told me, man, you talking about God too much. I thought everybody was supposed to be excited about that.
Amen.
Not so. People will leave you.
Yes, they will. Yep.
Your mother, your father,
Yep.
your husband, your wife.
Yes. Yep.
Yeshua said, I didn't come to bring peace, but I came to set at variance. I came to bring a sword. A man's enemies will be there of those of his own household.
Yes.
People who you love. But you got to remain strong, right?
Yes.
So Yeshua says this, I am the vine, John 15:5. I am the vine and you are the branches. Those who stay united with me and I with them are the ones who bear much fruit. Excuse me, you all. Let's go up. Sorry. Y'all ready? 15:1. I am the real vine. My Father is the gardener. Every branch which is a part of me, but fails to bear fruit, he cuts off. And every branch that bears fruit, he prunes, so that it may bear more fruit. Right now, because of the word which I have spoken, you are pruned. Stay united with me, as I will with you, just as the branch cannot put forth fruit by itself apart from the vine. So you can't bear fruit apart from me. I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who stay united with me, and I with them are the ones who bear much fruit. But apart from me, you can't do a thing unless a person remains united with me. He is thrown away like a branch and dries up. Each branch, such branches are gathered and thrown into the fire where they are burned. If you remain united with me and my words with you, then ask whatever you want and it happens. This is how my Father is glorified. In your bearing much fruit, this is how you will prove to be my Talmudim. Any branch that's in the Messiah, he prunes. Do you know what pruning is? He cuts back. In order for you to bear fruit, you got to be cut back. I do horticulture. That's my profession. And I know that a tree, if it's not cut back, it won't grow right. It'll even die. But if you cut it, it bears fruit. Do you know that trees live? They are alive.
Yeah.
You know trees feel.
Yeah.
That's right.
So do you think it feels good for a tree to be pruned to the tree? No. But is it good for the tree to be pruned?
Yes.
Yes. It don't feel good to be pruned. But it's good for you to be pruned.
Hallelujah.
You got to be cut back in order for you to grow. In order for you to bear fruit. I've seen fruit trees that had not been pruned and don't grow fruit. I've seen them get cut and pruned and pears bloom on them. Apples come out good, green, red, yellow. Oranges be nice, but they only come out through the pruning. Many of us, when we get cut, we quit.
Say that.
We stop, we want to give up. I have never seen people as weak as I've seen the ones who become born again. The woe is me spirit. I've seen folks who don't know the Most High go out there and hustle
That's right.
when they don't have food. They'll hustle. Some will even, that was sin. Some will rob, steal, and kill in order to get that mighty dollar. Oh, mighty dollar.
Yeah.
Ring, ring.
Yes. That's it.
Some will say, when their family leave them, I'm gonna still make it. I'm a man. I ain't gonna never give up. And they don't even know the Most High. But as soon as we, the ones who say we trust, have a little pain, a little problem, a little trial of life, don't nobody love me. We feel confused. We don't hear, I can't hear God. Y'all ever said that, ever heard that? Is he speaking to me? And the thing that's so sad is we don't pray, we don't get in the word, we don't praise, we just complain.
That's it.
Yes, sir.
We don't like being pruned. But if you can't be cut back, if you can't endure, if you can't persevere, then you can't have place. In order for you to have a place, you have to endure the prison. Man, listen, life gets tough sometimes.
Go ahead.
But you don't give up. We got a motto. Some folks say, you know what, we're going to throw in the towel. We don't have a towel to throw in.
That's
That's
right.
right.
Amen.
I don't have no towel to throw in.
Yes, sir.
Not enough.
You will either sink or swim.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no towel to throw in. You fight till you can't fight. The Apostle Paul one day was on a ship because he had understanding he had to go to Rome. He already got a word from the Most High. So one day on the ship, they're in a storm. And they want to start going over the ship. Paul said, listen, don't go over the ship. An angel last night had spoke to me. And he said, unless you abide in the ship, you won't make it. Don't go over the ship. Well, the ship wrecked. But everyone was alive and they were hanging on the driftwood in the water. And I had a message one time saying, you will make it even if you got to make it on broken pieces. Just don't jump out of the ship.
Hallelujah.
Abide in the ship. If you remain in the ship, you will live. It may wreck, but it's enough wood that the wood will float. Hold on to the wood. I heard a song one day by Clay Evans. Y'all ever heard Clay Evans? He had a song called Reach Beyond the Break. And it was some people out there, they was having a good time, and one of the kids was swimming, and he had begun to drown, and the father saw the kid drowning. So the father runs down there, he runs to get a rope, he goes down to the bank, he throws the rope in, he tells his son to grab hold of the rope and hold on. So the son grabs hold of the rope, and the father's pulling him in, but the rope is breaking. And he said, Father, my rope is breaking. And his father said, son, you got to reach beyond the break. And you got to hold on. You don't give up because your rope is breaking.
Come on.
But you reach beyond it. You go through the suffering. You endure the hardness as a good soldier.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's going to take care of you. He can't tell a lie. He don't lie.
That's right.
Amen. Are y'all okay?
Amen.
Amen.
Y'all not very quiet. Y'all be nervous over here. Just here. Verse 12 says this. Says to the angel of the Messianic community in Pergamum. Here is the message from the one who has the sharp double-edged sword. Who has the word. Ooh, that's good. I know where you are living. There where the adversary's throne is. You are holding on to my name, on to my reputation, on to my character, my authority. You did not deny trust in me, even at the time when my faithful witness Antipas was put to death in your town. There where the adversary is. I know your name. When you hold to my name, you were faithful. You did not lose hope when you saw somebody get killed for me. You still trusted me, right? Nevertheless, I have a few things against you. Y'all ready? You have some people who hold on to the teaching of Balaam, who taught Balak to set a trap for the people of Israel, so they will eat food that had been sacrificed to idols and commit sexual sin. Likewise, you too have people who hold on to the teachings of the Nicolaitans. Therefore, turn, repent, teshuva, actively turn from that and change, right? From these sins. Otherwise, I will come to you very soon and make war against them with the sword of my mouth. Those who have ears, let him hear. Let them hear what the Spirit is saying to the Messianic communities. To him winning, listen, to him winning the victory, I will give some of the hidden manna. Who is the manna? Who is the hidden manna? Who is the bread of life?
Sure.
And I will also give him a white stone. on which is written a new name that nobody knows except the one receiving it. He says, you're down there where the devil lives at. You're in the place of the adversary. You are in the middle of hell. Foolish stuff going on. Crazy things are happening. The adversary is right here. Right? He said, but I have some things against you. You have some people who hold on to the teachings of Balaam. You know what Balaam did, right? He wanted Balak to come and curse people of Israel. He wanted them to commit idolatry. He wanted them to go into the women and have sexual sin. He wanted them to leave God. Y'all didn't like that. Want them to eat things sacrificed to idols. Listen, y'all does not like that. We have people today in these congregations who don't live with the Most High because they leave the Most High for these false prophets who tell them lies about money cometh, who shout real good at, or however, our Caucasian brothers do, brother, Rob Parsley, how you doing? And folks giving them money, the preachers leave and have hotel rooms and have sex with the girls and the boys.
It's time we in, that's right.
While they eat their shrimp in the red sauce. Y'all don't like that. You can't compromise if you want to live for him. If you hang on, he says, I give you a white stone. The white stone is a ticket. It gives you an entry into what he is. Has a new name that only the person who has the stone know it. Not just a new name as far as the physical name, but the whole character has changed when you enter into, when you have access into his kingdom, into that place. But you got to hold on. You can't follow the teachings of Balaam. But Balaam wanted Balak to have the children of Israel to go to the other women of the Moabites. I think Moab had them go a-whoring. The only people on the planet that had the true living Elohim was Israel.
That's right.
Everybody else had false gods.
That's right.
Who they conjured up. And the adversary wanted them to leave their God to follow the gods of these other women. But listen, and he wanted them to curse them. But look what he did, Balak did. He said, Yah is not a man that he should lie. Even though Israel was in that place of disobedience, had done things wrong, his mind still was not changed about them. He still loved them, and he dealt harshly with Balaam and Balak. That eventually they died. Yeah. They were killed because they were trying to pull Israel astray. Pay attention to that. Even watch people who are trying to pull you astray. Make you want to do things that's not of the Most High. Listen, one thing that I've seen us do as believers is get in our feelings.
Yes, sir.
You can't get in your feelings. I've learned how to love my wife because I learned everything about how I feel. So when I get mad and don't feel like talking to her,
yes, sir.
or feel like telling her to shut up, well, be quiet then, whatever you want to choose to use.
Is that better?
More digestible.
Then when I calm down, I want to go be with her. I want to know her like Adam knew Eve. So it's about how you feel. It's about doing what's right from his perspective. It's about living right how he says to live. If you persevere, and then it said that the teachers of the Nicolaitans are said to have been a cult. And they ate things contrary to the Torah. We have people right now in our congregation, because listen, let me tell you this right here. Even though folks go to church on Sundays, does not make them not be gods. Because all of them are not in rebellion. Some of them are just ignorant.
That's right. That's right.
So we need to teach them. Guess what? Some of the leaders are going to be judged for that. Because it says, all right to eat the pork chop. Even though it ain't the big thing, but it's not okay to eat the pork chop. Listen, to eat unclean is a sin. We don't eat clean for health reasons. We eat clean because y'all says to eat clean. So we just do what we do out of obedience. He didn't give you an example of why you eat clean. He just said don't do, and we just don't do. So we do what he does, what he tells us to do, because we want to obey him. Amen?
Amen.
Are y'all ready? This is gonna be my last thing. We're gonna move to the scripture, but I gotta really deal with this one because this is tough. Y'all ready?
Ready.
18. To the angel of the Messianic community. 17. It's 18 in my Bible. To the angel of the Messianic community in Thyatira, right. Here is the message from the Son of God, whose eyes are like a fiery flame and whose feet are like burnished brass. I know what you are doing. Your love, your trust, service, and perseverance. And I know that you are doing more now than before. But I have this against you. Are y'all ready? You continue to tolerate that Jezebel, that is Isabel woman, the one who claims to be a prophet, but is teaching and deceiving my servants to commit sexual sin and eat food that has been sacrificed to idols. I gave her time to turn from her sin, but she doesn't want to repent of her immorality. So I am throwing her into a sick bed, and those who commit adultery with her, I am throwing into great trouble, unless they turn from the sins connected with what she does. And I will strike her children dead. I almost said it.
Good job, brother.
I almost said it.
Good job, brother.
I strike her children dead. Listen, everybody want to be a prophet nowadays in the church. Everybody. I think about 90% of the people who say they're prophets are not prophets. When you look in the scriptures, prophets are few and far between. And most prophets don't have to tell you they're prophets.
Yeah, that's right.
You will know. And when a prophet comes in town, people tremble. Samuel was coming. He said, "This year you come for peace or trouble? What's going on? Why are you here?" He said, "I come for my bring peace." But so many folks want to hear a word. And so many people are prophesying out of their own hearts,
Babylonian wine.
causing people to sin. The time we live in, I see prophets do all kinds of fools. They have $50 lines, $100 lines, $20 lines, and if you come right now, brother, give me $100, I'm going to give you a word from the Most High. And people fall for that. I know a man one time told a woman, said, "Listen here, when you leave, you give me $500. By the end of the year, I'm gonna give you $10,000. You're gonna receive $10,000." She left the church, went to the ATM machine, got $500, came back. We saw her 5 years later. She was eating at our house, and we asked her if that money ever come. She said she ain't got it yet. She was struggling then. We had a man last year. I went to go teach a word at a friend of mine's congregation, and he told my wife, "You could receive $50,000. We should have been here that money. The times is tight. But listen, but people tell you these things, and we follow them gullible and naive because we want to hear a word from the Most High. If you want to hear a word from the Most High, open your Bible up. Read the scriptures. Most prophets ain't gonna tell you. They're gonna tell you your sin you dealing with, and they're not gonna prophesy after their own heart. And you will know a prophet because the Messiah says you will know them by what? The fruit they bear. A good tree can't produce bad fruit. A bad tree can produce good fruit. Let's go to Matthew 7. Hope I don't have y'all scared or afraid because don't like me. I got a few more minutes, and I'm gonna get out your ear. But let's go to Matthew 7 and 21. Y'all ready? If you want to abide in the Most High, you got to be a follower of Torah. You got to be obedient. You can't follow the ways of the world. You can't lean to your own understanding. You got to surrender yourself to the will of the Most High, and you got to follow the scriptures and quit letting folks tell you things just to tickle your ear.
That's right.
It's not about you. The Apostle Paul said in the last days, they want to do a sound doctrine. But they hear themselves teachers, they have itchy ears.
Yes, sir.
They want to hear fables, the nursery rhymes, Esau's fable, or even Mary and her little lamb. How his fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, the lamb was sure to go. And so Jesus, our precious Jesus, oh sweet Jesus. Jesus came and told the truth. He rebuked a whole lot of folks, cut them up in the time and beat them in the temple. Called them devils and demons and said, woe unto you, woe unto you, woe unto you. He told the truth.
Amen.
He could have been that sweet and they wanted to kill him.
I know it's right.
Who want to kill a sweet man? Seven 21. Y'all ready? Says not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, or Adonai, Adonai, will enter the kingdom of heaven. Only those who do what my Father wants. Who will enter? Only those who what? Do what my Father wants, right? On that day, many will say to me, Adonai, Adonai, didn't we prophesy in your name? Didn't we expel demons in your name? Come out to them in the name of Jesus. In the name of Yahuwah, or however you, Yahushua, however you want to say it, in that name, come out of them. Did we prophesy in your name? I tell you, that's the Lord, and then Jesus Christ, you're going to be blessed in 15 days, 5 months, 46 minutes. You have your new car. I see Boaz coming. I see millions on your life. Go. You've been suffering long enough. You're healed. Right?
That's right.
Did we expel demons in your name? Did we perform many miracles in your name? Then I will tell them to their faces, I never knew you. I never knew. The word knew is from a Hebrew perspective. I never had a relationship with you. We were never intimate. Because to know means what? John 17:3, have eternal life. To know Yah is to have a relationship with him. So I never knew you, right? Then he would say, get away from me, you workers of lawlessness. That word lawlessness is the Greek word anomos. It means those who are outside of the law.
Yes, sir.
Or outside of Torah.
Yes, sir.
So doing something in his name won't get you a ticket in.
Amen.
But being obedient, walking within the framework of the Torah will have you abide with the Messiah. But when you don't, then you're in trouble, right? Listen to this. So everyone who hears these words of mine, and acts on them will be like a sensible man or a wise man who built his house on a bedrock. Or a solid rock, some of y'all's Bible say, right? The rain fell, the rivers flooded, the wind blew, and beat against that house, but it didn't collapse because its foundation was on the rock. But everyone who hears these words of mine and does not act on them will be like a stupid man who built his house on sand, or a foolish man. You know what a fool is? One who despises wisdom and instruction. We used to get in trouble for food. I was fool. I despise wisdom and instruction. I tell my children, experience is not always the best teacher.
Amen. Amen.
That's a lie.
Amen. Amen.
Listening and obeying is the best teacher.
Yes.
I don't have to smoke no crack rock to know that crack is wet.
Right.
I'm just gonna do it for myself. That's crazy, ain't it? Like a stupid man. So what was I at?
About 27.
Thank you. The rain fell, the rivers flooded, the wind blew, and beat against that house, and it collapsed, and its collapse was horrendous. So in order for you to abide with the Messiah, to remain with him, you have to be obedient to Torah. The adversary wants to come and try to destroy us. My point is Torah. When Paul says in Galatians, you are no longer under the Torah, he's not telling you you don't abide by Torah. Read it in its context, he's telling you that Torah shows you your sin. So when he's talking, he's telling you you are no longer under the authority of sin.
Amen.
Because the Torah was a schoolmaster. It shows you your sin and then put you in perspective that you know you need a Savior.
Hallelujah.
So it leads you to the Mashiach.
Right.
So when you come to Mashiach, Jeremiah 31:31 says that he'll put his Torah where now? On your
Heart.
on your mind, on your heart, on your inner parts. So those, if you want to live with Messiah, you have to follow Torah.
Amen.
The Torah don't save. It was never told to save. People tell lies when they say you're under the Torah. No, when you have to follow it, you do have to follow it.
Yeah.
The Torah has always been given to redeem people. Did y'all not know that?
Yes, sir.
We had Passover, right? First, y'all, he fights the adversary for them and breaks them free from the adversary. He puts the blood over the doorpost, then he comes down in the camp himself. And Hebrews thought, the Hebrews saw Yahuwah as a mighty warrior who fights for them.
Yes.
So he came down.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Undefeated.
And he said, whenever I see the blood on the doorpost, I'll pass over there.
Yes, sir.
Because those who are under the blood are covered.
Yeah.
Amen.
Come on.
So they have life. So he comes down, he kills the adversary.
Yeah.
He kills
Yes,
Pharaoh.
Yeah.
He kills the God, the one who said he don't know him, the one who wants to fight him, battle him, he kills him.
Yes, sir.
Then he brings out
Come on.
abundance with abundance. And he causes you, when he delivers you, the others who are not from you to see his movement in your life and they come with you.
Come on.
A mixed multitude. Then, while they're in the wilderness, on Shavuot, he gives them the Torah. I mean, Yahuwah, your Elohim.
Yeah.
He speaks to them.
Yeah.
Then, if they had a stammering speech, they begin to prophesy. Yeah, it's stammering when it's static speech. So then he gives them the Torah after he's redeemed them and tells them to follow his mishpat, his justice system.
Yes.
He's a God of patterns. So then he saves you. He redeems you.
Come on.
This time he don't give it to you on stone tablets.
Yeah. Yeah.
He equips you because he saw the condition of the Hebrews' heart. He understood they couldn't help themselves. So when because they didn't have trust, and when Moshe and Lydia was gone, they went a whoring and they made a bull and called it Yehovah.
Yes.
So Moshe comes around and kills everything. Listen, when Moses come around, he tells the tribe of Levi, side with me, whoever want to do it, let's go for it. And they had to kill brothers, and listen, mothers, they had to kill their very own family. And in this thing, if you want to ride with the Most High, you got to be able to forsake everybody that will block you from following him, or you can't ride with it.
Yes, sir.
Amen.
Y'all ready? You talking to me? Listen here. My father, he has never heard me preach one time. He don't even talk to me. My mother has never been to any of my sermons in my churches. She's never come. But I'm still going to obey the Father. My brothers have never showed up. But I'm still going to do it. I got people who have left us, don't want to follow us, tell me they love me with their fingers crossed behind their back. And they leave me. But I'm still going to obey the Most High.
Hallelujah.
Listen, the church is so crazy that they tell you once saved, always saved. That's a lie.
Amen.
It is.
Amen.
Because the Most High said if you disown me, or if you to disown somebody, you got to first own them.
Right.
To disown me before men, I will disown you before my Father. So you cannot disown him. You got to hold on to him. Listen, you can put him down. Go ahead and put him down. But you gotta understand that you may not be able to pick him back up. So when you put him down for somebody else, you understand your fate. Yeah, you can't serve two gods.
Come on.
You can't serve Yah and Mammon, money. You can't serve Allah and Yahuwah. You can't serve your boyfriend. I hear so many women, people who say, I can't help myself. And so they want to fornicate because they want to have sex and leave Yah. Well, he knows my heart. He does know your heart. And the word says your heart is more than the sick. It's just the wicked who can fathom it. So he knows your heart is wicked. You got to acknowledge your heart is wicked. And you got to tell him yes. Y'all mad at me? Listen, I remember a long time ago, I would not tell him yes. I refused to tell him yes. Because I thought when I surrendered that I would lose somebody. I would lose something. Until one day he told me, I know what's best for you. I know how you feel. I know the way you take. I know what's going on with you. You don't trust me, so you won't tell me yes. And most of us sin because we don't trust the Most High. Not understanding your distrust will cause you an eternal damnation. Yes. And we want to follow our own feelings. We want to follow our own flesh.
Right.
We don't want to lose it, but I love my wife. She know I love her. And she feel the same way about me. But when it comes to me choosing between her and the Most High, she lose automatically, no thing.
Yes.
And vice versa. And it's got to be like that.
Yes.
I love y'all. I love you. I love you. Love you. But not at the expense of losing my soul. I want the ticket. I want a new name.
That's right.
I want to live right before the Most High. Man, so we got to abide in him. Y'all okay?
Yes.
It's so hot. Whew. Lord have mercy. Turn the air down to 50. 32. Hallelujah. Let's go to Romans 8th chapter. And I'm trying not to bring the scripture out of context. Y'all don't want to. 8 and 14. Y'all ready?
Yes.
Romans 8:14. It says, all who are led, all is all in Hebrew, it's all in Ebonics, it's all in Spanish, it means all in English, it means it's universal language. Right? Or universal word. Thank you. All who, thank you. See, look at what made a little move in your life supernaturally. I wasn't prophesying, all who are led by God's Spirit are God's sons.
Amen. Amen.
Being a son of God is positional. It's not gender. So females can be sons of Yah, right? Because a son indicates someone who has an inheritance. So when you are led by the Spirit of Yah, you are his son, you now have an inheritance. Who is your inheritance? Yeshua. For you did not receive a spirit of slavery to bring you back again into fear. But on the contrary, you receive the Spirit who makes us sons, by whose power we cry out, Abba. Right? The Spirit himself bears witness with our own spirit that we are children of Yah. And if we are children, that we are also heirs. An heir has a what? An inheritance, right? Heirs of Yah, and joint heirs, equal sharers, joint heirs with the Messiah, provided. Y'all ready? We are suffering with him in order also to be glorified with him. So listen, be free. You don't have a spirit that brings you back into slavery. But you got a new spirit. You have a new home. You have a new name. If you persevere, if you hang on in there, if you continue to seek his face, go to John 14. I want to give you the scripture. I don't want to give you one-liners. I had a man one time, I first got saved. He opened the Bible up and he says, come unto me, all you who are labor and are heavy laden. take my yoke upon you and learn of me. And that man, learn of me. That's all he said for the whole sermon.
Yeah, right, Keisha.
He would hoop. He said, one Friday, back in 1939. That's all he preached. He was shouting, yay! I want to learn of him.
That's right.
I ain't know what he was talking about though. Listen,
Hallelujah.
y'all ready? 14:1 says, don't let yourselves be disturbed. Trust in y'all and trust in me.
Yes.
Here it is right here. In my Father's house are many places to live. If there weren't, I would have told you, because I am going to prepare a place for you. Since I am going to prepare a place for you, I will return to take you with me, so that where I am, you may be also. Furthermore, you know where I am going, and you know the way there. What time is up already?
He rolling, bro.
Thomas said, Lord,
He rolling.
we don't know where you're going, so how can we know the way? Yeshua says, I am the way,
Yes, sir.
and the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me.
Amen.
Because you have known me, you will also know my Father. And from now on, you do know him. In fact, you have seen him. So how do you abide with Messiah? And be in his Father's house? Through him. And to follow him, what he said in the scriptures, if you want to follow me, you got to first say no to you.
To you. Come on.
Can you say no to you?
That's right.
Or do you love you more than you love the Most High?
That's right.
Do you love you more than you love the Most High? I remember I used to love my wife more than I love the Most High. I'm going to tell you a quick story. Y'all ready for this story? I love her more than one thing I dreamed about her. One time she broke up with me and took a bath. I was so stinky. I refused to watch till she got back with me. So I had my pastor come to me and say, he says this, you love her more than you love God. I didn't respond. He said, well, what if God told you to leave her alone? Would you? Or what if he took her? Well, I wasn't going to tell him a lie. So I said, well, he God. He'll take her from me then. If that's the case. He said, well, so be it, walk away. Well, we go to church, come back. Well, she went to her church, I went to my church. I go to her house. She's my girlfriend at the time. And she out there excited. Oh, I was in church. He cast a stubborn spirit out me. I was delivered. And he told me that me and you were unequally yoked. I gotta break up with you. Because God said you love me more than you love him. I said, no, I don't. You gotta love him above all things.
Yes.
He'll have no other God before him.
Right.
In order to be in his house, you have to acknowledge him as the head of the house.
Amen.
My children have to know I'm the head of my house.
That's right.
My children already know if I ain't the head, you can't be there. I got zero tolerance. Ask them. I ain't playing with them. They got to come in full submission. Girls and boys. I won't beat my wife. I won't beat her up. But I'll throw my children out the porch. Get on out of here. Girls and boys. Because in my house, you got to know I'm the head.
Yes.
Or you can't live with me. In the Father's house, you have to know he's the head.
Come on, sir.
Yes.
And you have to know that the Messiah is preeminence.
Yeah.
He's first.
Yes.
If he can't be first, we can't be together.
Come on.
He's jealous. He don't want nobody else before him.
Yeah.
He has that right to be.
Yeah.
Because he's giving you everything that you need.
Yeah.
The reason I'm zero tolerant for my children being disobedient is I was there when they was born. All of my wife's children are by me. None of them are my stepchildren. They're all blood. Look at their heads and lips. You can tell. My oldest daughter is 23 years old. I'm daddy. I taught her how to eat. My wife would make her eat and then let's take my shit, pat her lip with the napkin. I said, no, put the napkin down. And you can get out. Pull your shirt off. Go for it. I trained her. I gave my girls baths. When my babies was sick, I took them to the emergency room. I stood up when I was there. She was there too, but I just had to feel that obligation. I need to be there for them. I wanted to protect them and make them know that I love them.
Hallelujah.
We try to support everything they do. When we didn't have the money, we still gave for them to be able. So when it comes to disobeying me, I can't take that.
Yeah.
Because I've been there for you. I taught you how to do what you do.
Amen.
They disobey at school, I would check them out of school, take them home, whoop their butts, and take them back to school.
Yes,
My
sir.
children make straight A's. All my children graduated high school, A.B. on the road. So my youngest, he's still in high school. But he showed me his report card last week, straight A's. Because he already know. You come here, man, this year. Some kids can't make B's, but you ain't not a B child. He's not a B child. I will bust him up.
Break them off.
Because I'll break him off. Thank you. They can do what they do. The Most High is the same way.
Come on.
That's it.
He tells Israel, when I found you, you were drowning in your own blood.
Yes, and I washed you and I rubbed you with salt.
So
Hold
no,
on you.
put a ring in your ears, made you look pretty,
Yeah.
gave you a name, and then you went a whoring. So I had to deal with you. So if you want to abide with the Most High, you got to live right, do right, surrender yourself.
Give it all. Free.
Give your will over
Yes.
to His will. Say no to you,
Yes.
unless you can't follow Him. Young rich ruler comes to Yeshua and says, what can I do to be your Talmudim, follow you? You don't have eternal life. Yeshua tore it out to him, you know, Shema Israel, that's not kid, all that. He said, man, I've been doing it from my birth. I've been doing it from day one. I got it. He says, one thing you lack. He said, what's that? Go sell all that you have and come follow me.
Come on.
The young man walked away grieved. That thought, if you give it all up, you can have it all.
Hallelujah.
He wasn't willing to give it all up. So I said, it's easier for a rich man to go to the eye of a needle. Excuse me, a camel to go to the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven, right? Not a needle your soul with. Say it was a little gate that the camel had to put, all the camel had to do was pull all the luggage off of it. Get low. Get all the luggage off your back and get low. And you can make it on through there. Right? Lay aside every weight and the sin that doesn't beset you. He said, well, man is impossible. But with God, all things are possible. Most of us can't obtain eternal life or won't live with the Most High because we're not willing to give it all up. We have the tradition. We say we have the Torah, but we're not willing to give Him our heart. Like Moshe kept saying, you're a stiff-necked people. You say you love the Most High, but you're stubborn, you're prideful. You won't humble yourself. You like the bad instead of the good. Listen, one thing that I see as a pattern is this, that good, listen, things transfer. Did y'all know this? Are y'all following me? Holiness transfers. Y'all tell Moses to take your shoes off your holy ground? Because he wanted the holiness going to Moses' shoes. He wasn't getting on Moses. Leprosy, uncleanness transfers, right? When people, that's a good person, begin to hang around bad people, the bad folks get the best of them. So y'all saying don't compromise.
That's right.
Don't go around them.
That's it.
Right.
We don't want folks to think bad about us or talk about us. So we'll go around them to bring peace.
Yeah.
So you will sit there looking like oops upside the head to be John Doe's friend. Shame on you. I know people who got locked out in prison. Some are dead by hanging around John Doe. Why don't you allow John Doe to make you lose your life? You got to be willing to be uncompromising. And you can't follow the adversary. My last little point, and we're going to get ready to end. You remember the Apostle Paul? You know, he was eventually killed, right? He was before Agrippa. He was before Felix. None of them could find fault in him. Let Paul go free, right? Paul kept saying, I must appear before Caesar. Paul was willing to go in prison to go to Rome because it was the will of the Most High for him to go to Rome instead of walking away free. Did you know this? We would rather go free instead of going to Rome because Rome is not an easy road.
Say that.
You know why most folks miss out on opportunities to be blessed? Because opportunity comes in overalls. It takes work.
Yeah.
And we don't want to work.
We don't want to work.
But in order for you to obtain something, you have to work at it. You got to be obedient to it. You got to surrender yourself to the will of the Father, or you can't accomplish. You got to go through the prison. You got to love. You can't fall after the false prophets.
Amen.
You can't be caught up on a hoopla. Leave Jezebel alone. Jezebel have a whole lot of folks going to jail because they ain't drunk from the money coming. They ain't drunk and they got to have a pork chop. You know you can eat clean and still be fat.
Amen.
It's been my experience.
You know you can be a vegan and still be fat.
Yes.
So overindulgence is not good.
Exactly.
Being greedy, being unsatisfied, being lustful
Yes.
is not good.
Right.
If you want to be satisfied, be obedient.
Preach it.
Obedience is God's love language.
Yes, it is.
It'll keep you in the house.
Yes.
It'll keep you in the house.
Amen.
Obedience will make him respond to you. For real. I was obedient to my leadership in my former ministry when my heart was broken. I got my heart broken by my senior pastor. Who devastated, broke my heart. Almost killed me. Oh, for real. But I believe the Most High had me there.
Amen.
So I still didn't leave. Even when I was deceived, for the sake of the people, I shut my mouth and I figured, you know what? They need to see God in you. So I'm a hush. And not expose you for their benefit.
Right.
And I was thinking of David and Saul.
Have mercy, God. Thank you.
Then we had two ministries. Well, one ministry in two locations. We had to drive an hour to one, come back an hour to another, and sometimes I'd even go back. But I believe the Most High had me there. Stayed for 12 years. And after I got hurt, stayed 2 more years. And wasn't going to leave until I told the Most High I wasn't going nowhere. Unless he tell me to go. And they told us
Let's
to go.
that cloud come.
They said go. But I believe in obeying in spite of my feelings.
Hallelujah.
I saw the Messiah when he said in John 12, should I say pour this from me? No. Because he understood his purpose. He said, unless the grain of wheat fall in the ground and die, it abides alone. It's got to die to produce a harvest. So I understood I got to die to myself in order to accomplish the will of the Most High. So if you want to abide with the Almighty, with the Messiah, you got to say no to you. Is this hard speech? We heard last night some stuff that was stranger than fiction.
True. Strange.
But it was mind blowing.
Yes, it was.
Now I'm going to say this, you two, don't get mad at me. I gotta see it. You know what God told Michael them to the angels that was unauthorized? He said, kill the bastards. That's what he said. You know why? Because they didn't have a father, because they didn't come from him. They came from other spirits.
Right.
And in his spirit that's not of the Most High, he has to kill the bastard. It's getting too good to keep saying I gotta quit. But a bastard is a fatherless child. In the book of Enoch, that's what I'm talking about. When the 200 watchers of the earth slept with daughters of men, and they had children, the Most High called them bastards, because a bastard is a fatherless child. And they didn't have the spirit of Elohim, they had the spirit of those fallen angels. So they was no longer they were not part of the family. And listen, just like Yeshua said in Matthew 7, if you are not, if he don't know you,
Man,
you can't enter in.
that's right.
And anybody that can't enter in, guess what happens?
It must be.
You don't stay on the earth.
Right.
Hold up.
You say you stay on the earth? Did you think that? No. The word says, he saw the throne of God come out of heaven. There was one sitting on the throne, right? He was sitting there. So a great white throne, what he called it.
Yes, he did. Come on.
He said in there, books were open.
Yes, sir.
And another book was open.
Come on.
The dead that was raised was judged for what was written in the books. The books that were judged from was the Torah. There was another book that was open, it was the book of life. And those whose name was not found written in the book died a second death. They was cast into the lake of fire along with death and hell. That's bad when death gonna die.
Hallelujah.
Wow.
That's heavy. Revelation. So if you want to abide with the Messiah, you gotta say no to you.
Amen.
Amen?
Amen.
I love y'all. Listen, so if you need if you gotta repent, repent. Turn. If you gotta stop doing things, stop. If you were being unfaithful, begin to get back faithful. I've been unfaithful. Trying to learn my Hebrew roots and wouldn't pray. Supposed to be a preacher. Being mean to my wife. I know y'all ain't never be like that.
That's right.
We didn't argue all the way to church. Got out the car smiling. You know,
Yes, sir.
All right, tell it.
We've been there, yeah.
Yes, sir.
got there, praising. I'm thinking that she got behind the veil. I'm behind the veil. And as soon as it's over, we back in hell.
Yes.
I know we ain't the only one.
Man, that's right. That's right.
So I'm a leader.
Come on, tell the truth.
Been at church when nobody was there, waiting on them to come. Arguing before people got there. Man, hands shaking, I'm so mad. Folks get there, how you doing? Praise God. Looking at her, can't even teach right. A couple legs in, oh man, they're gonna learn because of the Holy Ghost. I'm mad at her. Then I feel guilty. So when I'm preaching, I'm talking to myself. So I gotta go there and say, I'm sorry. Y'all living like that?
Come on now.
That's not good in the eyes of the Most High.
That's right.
Tell the truth. That's right.
You hit your finger and say, oh, snap. But it wasn't a snap word. You know, we mess up sometimes. But what I'm saying is we got to get it right. So we can, if you want to be with him, he's not playing. We think he's playing. I am. We think he's playing.
No.
Bear with me. We think that the Most High is playing with us. It's going to be a bad day.
Man.
Because we think he's playing. We got these excuses. God know my heart. Man, shut up.
Amen.
Amen.
That's an
Amen.
excuse for you to use to
Yes.
sin.
Yes.
We have excuses. And an excuse is a smoke screen for the uncommitted.
Mm.
We make excuses up because we don't want to be committed to doing what we got to do.
That's right.
We think repenting is saying, I'm sorry. Repent don't mean you sorry. I'm sorry, God. I repent. And get back up and do the same thing. Repent means an active turn, doing completely different in your actions. See, we got a Greek mindset. So we think we say it, thinking or feel it, it's all right. No, you got to do it.
All right.
And the devil lies to us and say, well, you ain't got to work your way to heaven. No, you ain't got to work your way to heaven, but you got to work out your soul salvation
Yes,
with fear and
amen.
trembling. So Yeshua saves, but you still got to live right. Well, I'm saved by grace. Grace teaches you to deny ungodliness. So if you're saved by grace, grace is this is how I define grace. Grace is super mercy. For an example, man is riding down in a parking lot, young lady in her car. She backs up and hit his car. She gets out, she's crying. It's a dent in the car. He tells her, listen, calm down, relax. Go back in the building, get you a drink, a soda. It's on me here. $5, buy you some drink. Sit there for an hour. After you calm down, then you can leave. That's called mercy. Here is grace. After she's dented the car, after she's hurt it, I buy her a drink, then I have a relationship with her. And she's grateful to me for not suing her. Not getting up, not being mean to her, but I become her friend. That's grace. That y'all don't destroy you in your wrong, and he becomes your friend.
That's right.
And because you are grateful, you will do what's right. You'll start looking out from now on.
That's right.
You look behind you from now on.
That's right. Go ahead.
So grace will teach you to deny ungodliness. Not give you an excuse to sin. And say, God, know my heart. In the Torah, it says fornication, there was stoned. That was in the country, and you couldn't hear a scream. Then you had to try to figure it out. But you just couldn't fornicate. We need to be virgins, our young ladies, and then teach us to be spiritual virgins. Quit going a whoring, even you grown folks.
That's right.
Amen.
Don't watch pornography.
Amen.
Men, women.
Amen.
Don't watch pornography. Don't be looking at the lady's butt when she walk in the store. Then here you are lusting out there. Ooh, she got a big old butt. Come on, man. Because the adversary, listen, if we learned last night about those fallen angels persuading those people, then the adversary appeals to your evil inclination.
Right.
You got to pull that down.
That's right.
And you got to choose not to listen to what he say, and you got to understand you have more power than him. To him that wins the victory. You got to win the victory. In order to win the victory, you got to do what? And you got to fight.
Yes. Amen. Amen.
If you don't fight, you weak, and I ain't going to die. I'm going to end after this. You can't be afraid of the giants. Listen, people will talk about you. What you doing here? You come down here to meddle. When my father is sick, you check on my brothers. You down here meddling, man, dang. We tired of you coming out here meddling up. Then you hear somebody in the background talking. He ain't even worry about them. I come to what my dad told me to do. Then he hear this giant blaspheming the Most High. Who is this uncircumcised Philistine?
Yeah.
And he went out there, listen, he went out there, hit the giant in the head with a rock, knocked him out, and cut his head off.
Come on.
With his own sword.
With his own sword. It was already strong, because what? He had already had faith battle. I looked at battle before. Put some hands on him. They took a lion out. This ain't nothing to me. He used his experience to fight that giant. Did not allow him to lie to him. My uncle said the giant name was Goliath. He broke the word out and said, go lie at. He was lying at Israel, telling them they couldn't beat him. And they was afraid to move. But a man after God's own heart knew what y'all wanted.
Mm.
And he knew that y'all didn't want that lion, that Goliath lion at him.
Mm.
So he couldn't put on all Saul's armor, because Saul was a little bigger than David.
Yeah.
But he remembered he knew how to shoot real good.
Yeah.
So he had a stone, 5 smooth stones.
Yeah.
And he had a slingshot. So he come out there with them 5 stones, the Torah, took one of the books and threw it at him, and knocked him out with the word, with the Torah, with the 5 stones.
Mm.
I'm just talking to you,
Amen.
I'm behind the
Amen.
veil. This is behind the veil.
Amen.
Talking from the spirit. So he
Yes.
killed him,
Go ahead, son.
cut his head off, and through his faithfulness, got recognition by the Most High, and was pushed into his purpose. And the Most High protected him because his covering was on him. So one day when Shaul was chasing David, he's running from Shaul, Yah tells him to go into the cave. He runs in the cave, Yah speaks to a spider, and the spider where the cave was.
Mm.
And they run past the cave. He protects you when his purposes on your life. When you were walking in his ways. And then through his struggle, the word says that David, through his oppression, was hiding in the cave. People, when they came to the cave, and he became their leader under the pressure. He was doing great things. He had to play crazy in the Philistines.
Yeah.
But he was still after God's own heart. He only played crazy because the Philistines wouldn't kill him. They thought if a demon was in him, they'd kill him and they'd get him in. And they ain't want it in him. So he played crazy. You understand? But he was a warrior. He was the first king of the united Israel. Now that's our ancestor.
Mm.
It's in him. He had the faith like Abraham. He was the seed of Abraham. Yeshua is in you. Whether you're physical DNA or you're grafted in, you're still Israel. So if you're still Israel, you're grafted in, you're Abraham's seed.
Mm. That's book.
So you have that
Amen.
faith. So live right, amen?
Amen.
Father, we thank you, we glorify you. We praise you, bless your name. Help us to live in your word, to live by your ways, to abide in you, to live holy and righteous. We thank you for this Sukkot. We thank you for growing. We want to live. I know that sometimes your word be tough to us, but let us taste it and eat of it and live from it. For it's medicine to us. It's like a lamp unto our feet, a light for our pathway. It gives us light. It gives us nourishment. It waters us. It cleanses us. So we thank you for your word. And we love you and praise you and glorify you. Help us to humble ourselves, to deny our own self-interest, to overcome, to love, to do what's right, not follow after other gods, not follow the false prophets.
Yeah.
But help us to walk in your ways. So we thank you, we glorify you. In Yeshua's name. Amen. Say this, Pastor German is a true man of God. His wife is a true woman of God. My wife is a true woman of God. Brother Aaron is a true woman of God. Miss Beverly is a true woman of God. Now I don't know why y'all say you're not.
Man of God. Aaron.
Aaron's a true man of God.
Thank you, brother.
I'm sorry. See what? I'm sorry. But true